What's going on, guys? I still think it's funny. My picture says Rover. I can't unsee it now that Keith's pointed out. On the truck, it's supposed to be the Drover Hotel, but I'm leaning over the D, so it just says Rover.
Rover.
So,
Red Rover.
Oh, how's everybody's weekend?
Don't send Donnie on over.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be like that today. Let's do it.
Did you expect anything different?
Of course not. Of course not. So, man, I spent the weekend freaking dancing, fixing the air conditioners, all kinds of crazy shit.
You did.
It was a busy, fun weekend though.
Where did you guys go dancing? I didn't.
Guitars and Cadillacs. It's over off of Brian Armours and 20.
Yeah,
been there several times.
That's the first time there.
Every Thursday night they do dance lessons from 8 to 9, and then
They do. The guy who teaches it is a friend of mine.
Oh, heavyset guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice guy.
yeah,
nice guy.
Yeah, he
very
is.
cool, very cool guy. There's a
That
lot
was
of people.
fun.
There was over 100 people on that dance floor for lessons.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's busy over there on
Oh.
Thursdays.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was expecting them just to do line dancing. They were actually, teaching a form of two-stepping, so which was fun.
Yeah.
Elizabeth and I can twirl, right? But I haven't done the side-by-side two-stepping and things like that.
Yeah.
Donnie was out trying to do the lessons. He's like, "Fuck this!" As soon as the lessons are over, he went back to his old style of dancing with Elizabeth.
Yeah, I had to do every time.
I think
Every
that's normal for everybody.
Oh, the way I learned how to dance, I don't have to think. I don't have to count. The way they were trying to teach us how to dance, I had to count in my head. And even a point, Elizabeth started counting for me. I'm like, that's too much.
And then we realized that Donnie can't count past 3. So
No.
I was going to say, Donnie, no.
Oh, and she even
I
tried
was going to give you credit and say 10. So because you had 10 fingers. So
No.
Well, I hurt my thumb.
He had one hand behind her back. He's only got 5.
oh,
I
fine.
got 5.
Yeah, at one point, she even tried to not count and just go shuffle, shuffle, step, shuffle, shuffle. Step.
The funny part was they were doing some line dancing afterwards, and Elizabeth runs out there to go out there to do the line dance, and 10 seconds later she comes back. She's like, "Nope."
She goes, she's got all excited. She's like, I know this one. She runs out there. She goes, I don't know what they were doing. And came running right down the road.
I'm like, no, you came back awful quick. She's like, that's not the one I remember.
I love it.
No, it was a good
Y'all
time.
had fun.
It was a good time. I highly recommend. I mean, anytime I can go to a bar where there's no smoking, I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
They,
And on Thursday nights, it's free cover.
yeah.
If you're 18 to 20, you get a hand stamp, and they have to pay $10 to get in. So there wasn't a ton of young kids out there. So and there were some people out there that could fucking dance.
Yeah.
So there were some crazy people.
There were some
crazy
people
things.
out there definitely on the prowl.
Yeah.
The funny part, it's a lot of older guys out
Yeah.
there, and they don't take a dance off. They ask somebody new to dance every single round. It's hilarious.
So basically, Keith was learning for his own future.
Yeah, I was taking notes.
Yes. 100%.
I thought the prowling thing was aimed at Keith.
It's not all the single ladies. It's all the single moms. All the single moms.
That's not prowling. That's easy pickings.
Terrible.
And we got canceled
That's how
again.
we got canceled.
Look at how red Keith is saying it, though. Look at him.
You guys
Started pretty red. Only
You guys are
worse.
terrible.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, get us out of trouble. Let's go play a game.
All right, I'll try to get you out of trouble. We'll see what happens.
So Peyton's throwing a curveball this morning. I'm not sure if I'm excited about this or not.
Keith was the first one in here for the podcast, and I told him, Keith, I think you might be my only hope on this because I don't know if anybody's going to be able to guess any of these right unless it's by luck.
Okay.
Because it's real or fake music album edition. I've got you an album name, the year it was created, and then 3 songs from the album, and y'all have to figure out if that's a real album or not.
Let's just go ahead and say I lose now.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah. Donnie, you might as well flip a coin each time. You ready? Stankonia in 2000.
That is
That sounds
real.
like something that came out of the UK.
That
Actually,
is
we love
real,
these
and that
hoes.
is
Oh,
We
who
played
is it,
that
Bernie?
at my last wedding.
We love these hoes. Was played at your last wedding. Oh, come on. Bernie's thinking real hard on this one.
Speaking of bad songs, does anybody watch the new movie Wish? The Wish by Disney?
No.
Storyline is good. The songs are the dumbest, worst songs I've ever heard on the planet.
Really?
They are fucking horrible.
And that's
Right.
not
Yeah. I mean, if they would just remove the songs altogether, it would have been a better movie.
Bernie, no Googling.
too late.
So what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to tell you if this is real?
This
or
is
not?
real. Bernie's all over his hands.
Really
It's
real.
real. That's Outcast.
Yes, couldn't think of the name of the band.
Oh, Outcast.
Oh, so it's not a band; it's an
Stankonia.
album. Got it.
The album was Stankonia.
Well,
Outcast.
Stankonia sounds like a UK punk band.
Can we
Yeah,
can we get a sample of "We Love These Hoes"?
I don't have it. I don't have it, but I should have
No,
queued it up.
no, we're not hitting that copyright infringement.
Narrow Stairs.
Your new
Featuring
twin
my
size
new
bed.
favorite song, Your New Twin-Sized Bed.
I'm gonna go with fake.
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 I'm gonna say
Fake?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Real.
go.
What?
No.
Death Cab for Cutie. Huh.
Yeah.
The name of the band is Death Cab for Cuties, so that'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my guess. If he had to switch screens, I was going to guess the name of the band real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You would have nailed it, Keith. Crystal Veins,
Veins.
1982. Weak
Just
Voices.
bad as Peyton's haircut.
This guy. That is my haircut. Thanks, Donnie.
Crystal Veins.
Oh, crap.
Happy
Just like
Monday,
Barry-
Petrie.
Barry Manilow.
All right, guesses. What are we
1982.
thinking?
Queen Strike. It's Queen Strike.
We haven't had a fake one yet.
Right. I go
Yeah,
fake.
I'm gonna say fake.
Fake. Keith, Donnie,
It's fake.
fake. Donnie, what's your guess?
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm gonna say fake.
All right, everybody guessed that one.
Yay.
Voices and Choices, 2006.
Wait, wasn't "Kiss the Sky" on the song on the last one?
It was.
It was.
It's the last one.
We're gonna go with fake.
Yeah.
No,
Fake for 200.
no. This is actually
Well,
real. This is like Milli Vanilli or something.
I'm gonna go for Millie.
Like voices and choices. That's accurate.
Kind of
Accurate.
makes sense, right?
So I heard a couple of fakes.
I'm
Any
gonna
other
say it's
guesses?
real. I'm gonna say real.
Good voices and bad choices.
Keith, Donnie.
I already said fake.
It's real.
Oh.
No, it's real.
Okay, real and fake. That's a real one.
Oh.
This one is Sean Lee's
Oh,
Ping Pong
God
Orchestra.
damn.
Don't you all? You don't know Sean Lee's?
I've got
Ping
that
Pong
one on repeat on my Spotify.
Keith is adding it to his list.
Yeah, right.
I was
2006.
searching for ping pong bands and they came up. And featuring songs "Embrace Deep Thoughts." This is fake.
Aurora's Pulse. Embrace Deep Thoughts.
You need a little bit more imagination to kind of fool us.
Yeah, that's gonna be fake.
Yeah, I'm gonna say fake.
This one was really
Completely made up.
I even used, okay, let me tell you, I even used Chat GPT to try and help me find album names that aren't out there. And it's like
And
the
you
same
read those
song.
three
I just
songs
every
and like,
song-
you'll never guess this.
To be fair, I think there have been days we
Yeah.
didn't guess very well.
Sweet
so he
fragrance
might
makes
have
you
gotten
think
Of Aurora.
This is real.
So
It
me
has
and
to
ChatGPT had to figure some stuff
Dude, I
out.
thought that's Vivacious tested Aureola from Heaven. I'm like, this is a whole different song.
Not Oreo.
This is like some. He said areola.
That's what I thought. You know,
That's not what it is.
That completely changes the meaning of sweet and
Honey, that's
maybe his wife died, you know?
Oh my god!
Donnie, you wanted to go to this segment to get you out of trouble on the last
You're
one.
welcome.
You dove right back in.
You're welcome.
Wow.
I'm
This could be
going
some gypsy hippie dippy.
I was gonna say,
band.
real.
Yeah.
No, but
Real.
it's
It's real.
2024.
It's real.
Yeah,
That's real.
yeah. It's
Pulse Wave
Pulse
X.
Wave.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Techno.
This was Sweet Fragrant was one of the album names that ChatGPT came up with. They were like, nobody's gonna put these two sets of words together, and shit, Pulse Wave X did.
Put Petrie's comment up.
I have to call HR today.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's one of our goals on this podcast. Somebody needs to call HR on us. Head smashed in
Smashed in.
2018.
in the van.
Songs are Heavy Low, Get in the Van, and Anxious Children.
Get in the van, just children could all be
Dude,
one thing.
Peyton, this is by the Ice Cream Truck Boys.
Oh
Oh.
my gosh.
Featuring my conversion van. I'm
Real.
saying fake.
Free Candy is one of the songs.
Yeah.
Donnie says
That's
fake.
Fake.
I say real.
Fake.
Fake.
I'm gonna say fake.
Stevie's the only one saying real.
Yeah.
Stevie's right.
Wow.
We hunt buffalo.
We hunt buffalo. This came out in
They have
2018.
anxious
If you
children
really
that they want to get in the
band name
van.
was We Hunt Buffalo, I might have said fake.
You know what's sad about this is Peyton probably listens to all of these bands
Hmm.
because he's got the
What's-
most
what's
eclectic listening list on the freaking planet.
So what's crazy, most of the ones that I have cut off where it's not the full screen is so you can't see which of the songs in the album I've already listened to and liked.
Yeah.
You don't need to know that I listen to Anxious Children. You don't need to see that one.
Get in the van on loop.
It's my top most played song. is Get in the Van. All right. Future Sex.
Sex,
Love
Oh,
love
real.
sounds.
Real?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
quick.
that's real.
Sure.
Come on, this is Barry White. Mm.
Very white.
This is
Yeah,
Justin Timberlake, I think,
Yeah,
isn't
Justin
it?
Timberlake,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's Justin Timberlake. I was trying to see if y'all would figure it out. and Y'all did.
We're bringing sexy back.
Yeah, I didn't want to give y'all sexy back because I knew that was
I
gonna give it away.
don't know what that was, Keith, but don't do it again.
Practicing for karaoke.
Julie, why are you laughing?
What?
That wasn't funny.
Yeah, we'll see.
Laughing
One
with
of
you.
these- Keith, I guarantee that you will be up there singing "Get in the Van" at best.
All the single mamas. All the single mamas.
Yeah.
All the single mamas, get in the van.
Get in the van.
I like it.
That's terrible.
I'm writing the words for that song right now.
No. Oh,
Oh
shit.
my gosh.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome.
Oh,
Moving on before y'all do anything else that we need to call HR for. I'm getting out of here.
quickly,
This
Paige,
is Julie
quickly.
Trombley, CEO of Tackle Your To-Do and an overall automations badass. With over 26 years of partnering with realtors, she has developed a deep understanding of the unique challenges within the real estate industry. Focusing on effective automation, Julie knows how to help you tackle your to-do. And today, she gets the hot seat with the Success Champions team.
Well, hello,
All right,
hello.
Before we get started with Julie, I just want to say, Peyton, you can now add voiceover to your resume. That was pretty good.
That was awesome.
Getting better, kid.
Oh my god, I got a compliment on this show that never happened. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, go away now. You're over it.
You suck. Right?
That was pretty good
purple
voiceover,
hair.
wasn't it?
It
It
was.
was. It
It
was.
was.
Even better.
Is
Yeah.
that a girl?
All right, purple hair, don't care. How's the world? How's life? All that fun stuff. Oh, Julie,
World's
introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about you, and then we want to kind of an update since the last time you were on here.
Yeah.
Talk us through some of the things you figured out and done, and then we'd like to know what can we help you with moving forward.
Oh, shit, I don't remember from that long ago. Julie Trombley, I'm the owner of Tackle Your To Do. I started my business. I quit my job in March 13th of 2020 when the world was shutting down for COVID. When I first started my business, I was kind of doing some random tech support, kind of then changed over to supporting CRMs, one in particular, but that's going to be part of our discussion. We'll get into that a little bit. When I was doing the random tech, it was for kind of anybody. I've now going to niche down to supporting realtors and brokers because I have over 26 years of supporting realtors and brokers in their business. So just seeing, how I can better support them with either their CRMs or setting up their own CRM, a broker provided CRM or setting up a CRM for them.
I love it. I love it. So last time you were here, we were talking about getting into that niche, more focusing a lot more on the realtors and going after those type of people.
Mhm.
Since you started going down that path, what's happened? Are you getting more traction in that area? Are you getting the business more dialed in? Walk us through that a little bit.
A little bit. I am working with a realtor who she does have a CRM that was provided by a big broker. She was leaving. When she left that big broker, she thought she had downloaded all of her information correctly, and she didn't. And she is now with a new broker who is also providing a CRM, but she has also decided she's not going to be put in that position anymore. That she wants to have her own CRM to have her information. So when she moves from brokerage to brokerage, because they do that. I mean, it's just the way things are in the real estate world. They move from brokerage to brokerage. So she wants to have her own CRM. So
Have you shared that story on your social media?
Yeah, I was sick of the same damn thing.
That's such a great story to get out there, especially in the real estate groups and stuff like that. I'm like, how
Right.
sick of you are your information not traveling with you when you switch brokers?
right.
Oh my God, that, finally just invest into your own CRM, and no matter where you go from now on, you have it.
Right. The other thing we're talking about too is a personal branded website, because a lot of these agents get, a broker promoted or whatever branded website. And I'm like, you own your domain and all it's doing is being pointed to your broker provided website. Why don't we work on, a more personally branded website? So no matter where you go, you're building your reputation as you and not necessarily, if somebody wants to buy or sell, send them to that broker provided website. But in the meantime, work on building your personal brand on who you are and why people would want to work with you. And, let's get that set. So again, that goes with you no matter where you go.
I love that. That's awesome. That could be an actual soapbox. Like that could be a complete platform for you to stand on. For me, I like it because it's contrarian, right? And it picks the right overall fight.
Can you spell that word for us?
No.
Can you use it in a sentence?
No.
Could you again?
Okay. It means argumentative. Look at me go.
Another word that
Right?
Wow.
Right?
He's throwing out the $10 words this morning.
Well, can somebody get Keith some blush or something today?
Oh,
Holy
God.
cow, he's purple.
Look at that face.
He looks like the girl off of Willy Wonka who eats the
Yes,
grapes.
he looks like the blueberry girl.
Oh. Julie, in case you're wondering, that's the next purple for your hair. Oh, but,
Oh my God.
nice. Bernie's like, I ain't saying shit today. Oh, But when you can have an argumentative view, like you can have a view that goes against norm, it will get traction because you will have some people that are going to come at you and go, hey, we need our people to use our CRM. And let's be honest, the only reason they want their people to have their CRM is so they can keep all the data when they leave.
Yep.
Right.
Fuck off, Peyton.
What do you
Please, somebody clip this, save it, make it a meme so we can share it. Peyton, I want this posted on LinkedIn.
man.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay,
Hold
okay.
You're
on.
welcome. You're welcome, Julie. Trying to match your hair and my face together.
Sorry, I'm distracted, but I am saving that screenshot.
I'm sure Peyton's got several already.
Epic.
He's purple. So
Well, while he is distracted, what he was trying to say before is that, a lot of times when we go on social media, people just liking our post because they agree with it actually doesn't do a lot for us. It's the people who are willing to argue with us or tell us, well, that's not how it really works. So that's not what my broker wants. It's those that actually comment, which means it's actually that gets you better traction on your post.
Okay.
Right? It's always comments that get better traction than likes. And so when you're able to say something that's a little bit off-putting to people, it allows them to fight with you a little bit on it, but that gets you a lot of comments, which actually makes your post more likely to get more traction. So they actually support you.
100%. Oh,
No.
look at Petrie chewing all day long. Big question: who's the Oompa Loompa? That's got to be Bernie.
Is it though, Donnie? I feel like you in the little white suspenders would totally work out.
I'd look good. I would.
We have an
look
older
good.
brother though that could fill that role.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly, Peyton, the other brother.
The other brother, there you go. Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
I like it.
What is he? 5'2"?
But no, I think those are great ideas, Julie, to make sure that you're putting out those stories on your social media because those are the things that are going to attract people.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'll also encourage you to go find places where realtors are hanging out and figure out how you can get on real estate podcasts and talk live on virtual events in front of real estate groups and things like that, and just talk about the power of having your own CRM. So no matter, and I would start off by asking the question, how many brokers have you worked for in the last 10, 15, 20 years? And how many of you guys have been able to carry your information since day one to now? Right. I would assume the answer is going to be a very low number of people that have been able to do that. So being able to, new realtors, you can carry that information starting right now. Old realtors can finally get in the habit of being able to do that. So you can cover all those bases.
Right. Oh, wow, that's a great idea. Great question to ask too.
Well, and I think also with data security and those kinds of things being what they are today, you want to own your own.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to rely on other people to keep your data safe.
Well, there's a reason why brokers will give you a free website and free CRM, right? Because they want the information.
Yeah.
They want to own that. And that's not your best interest if you're a realtor.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I'm plugging into Chat GPT because I'm actually kind of curious what it comes up with some other more argumentative views around CRMs to see if you could pick a bigger fight and put a lot more content out there. Because two things that are working really well in the social media right now is videos, especially even on LinkedIn, are really hitting hard. So, and putting out a lot more video content. We're upping the volume of videos we're going to start putting in a marketplace. I just saw a stat from a buddy on LinkedIn, and he's done something like, I don't know what he said, like 4,000 videos in the last year, and it's generated just like 2 point something million views on LinkedIn of all platforms. So it's really fascinating. So, but the second thing is to really think about where else can you pick an ethical fight, like, you know, the other things that you can talk to that will get more and more people to lean in the overall thought process. So have you thought in any regards of around a CRM where you could pick another fight?
No, I haven't, but
Well, I think
it's
the
good to think
website
about
you
it.
mentioned earlier, personally branded website is another one,
Yeah.
right? You don't just have to be listed on the broker website, right, as one of their realtors. You can have your own name, your own website, and that allows you to, again, control your image, and that follows you, right? They can't take your name if it's your own domain. So
Right.
that allows, right, you the power to continue to move and go wherever you need to go without losing anything.
Julie,
Right.
what's the name of your company again?
Tackle your to-do.
So I like this thought process from ChatGPT is your forever realtor. Having your own CRM allows you to stay in contact with people through the years over and over again. So you stay their forever realtor. It's a good thought process to put out there in the marketplace. So the more you can think about different angles to talk about why they need their own CRM, right, just helps you validate. So maybe it's the thought process or the top 5 reasons you need to have your own, you know, CRM as a realtor and coming up
And
with
your own
it.
domain. Because you saying that makes me think too, having their own domain then follows them. Doesn't matter what broker they're going to. This is going to be always where somebody's going to come to their domain and find them. And then, because that link out to whatever broker they're with for, you know, looking for houses or whatever. But to always have that, you know, branded domain to you, and it's your personal brand, and that doesn't change no matter where you go.
Well, and I think if you think about it, right, most of us who've dealt with realtors, I don't remember what broker, like I didn't go because, oh, I want to work with that brokerage, right?
Yeah.
It's not like I chose like Century 21 or Remax.
Right.
Like I didn't choose for that. I chose the realtor, right? I chose the human. So when I'm looking for a house again, you know, 10 years from now, I'm not going to remember the brokerage. I'm going to remember the human.
Yeah.
So if they own that name and that's where people can search for them and find them, if they're building that personal brand, then it doesn't matter what brokerage they're with. Or I know a lot of realtors now become their own broker, right? So that they don't have to worry about all that. Like if they have that domain, then that's just their name and you carry it with you. And just side note, anybody listening to the sound of my voice, you better own your name.com.
Yes.
And if you don't, go do it today. Everybody should own their own name online. Every single human.
Yep.
Just putting that out there.
Oh, because if something happens and you do break loose, anything goes viral, and all of a sudden you're, you know, socially online famous, somebody else will snatch your URL up quick as shit, and then they'll hold it hostage.
Yeah, they will.
That's weird. I just went to dipshit.com and it says it's owned by Donnie Bovine already.
It's asshole.com, right? There's a whole bunch of them that I just went ahead and bought up. I'm protecting myself.
So Julie, I would, you know, with the Tackle Your To-Do, I would add a subtitle to your company name, and I would think of something along the line of control your future, control your destiny, control your data, something like that. A little bit more about what you're doing for them in the real estate. Tackle Your To-Do is a great business name, and it lets them know that with the CRM, that's pretty obvious. But I think helping them understand a little bit more what you can do for them by helping them control their future, right, of all that data and stuff.
Yeah, I would go a little bit more towards the real estate side of things. So Tackle Your To-Do, helping you build your personal real estate brand through CRMs or something along those lines that really spells it out for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
And
and
I think it's great you've diving into this. You've niched down with it. I've tried to get so many people to try and niche down, because once you find your way in real estate, that floodgates are going to open up as you continue to prove that you're the expert in that industry for what you do. 6 months, 6 years down the road, there may be another industry that opens up for you.
Yeah.
But for right now, niching down in real estate, right, is I think is a very smart move.
Well, especially if you consider the like I don't even know what the count is now, how many realtors there are. Yeah, you know, plus not just realtors, then you have the real estate agents who are not realtor members. So, you know, like there's over 1 million just realtors. So
Well, and there's so many speaking opportunities, right? Because there's so many associations of realtors, associations of real estate agents, and you could even go commercial versus residential. All the same rules apply, and they all have associations, and they're all looking for speakers. So there's a great way for you to get out there and get your content out there too.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, aim your content at realtors as well, so that they start associating you with realtors. So having that in the text of your posts and in your videos is going to be important.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching, we'll throw up advice and things too. Ask questions as well. It helps us get her better information. So make sure you guys are commenting and chatting along with us.
I do have a question though. I don't know that we ever heard what Julie's actual question she wanted us to answer today was. We just kind of jumped on.
We did.
And I want to make sure she had a question.
Why is it important we give the guest a platform at all? We're just giving advice.
I'm so glad Stevie's here.
We just love the sound of our own voices.
You're right.
Well, except Bernie's, we have no idea what his voice sounds like.
I'm saying shit today.
Ooh, there's Mike.
Yeah, that's a good
Julie,
point, Mike.
what is your biggest question? What are you looking for help with?
So, you know, I've always been that person that's been the implementer of setting up the systems and whatever. And obviously there's only so many clients you can take on as a solopreneur, you know, so I want to know if there's like a course or coaching or something where I can reach more people at one time, where I'm not feeling like I'm so much trading time for money, because I feel that's what I'm doing now.
I think absolutely. I think you could 100% build a personal brand around the idea of why you need a CRM, and then teach them how to do it all. Like literally, you could teach them to build their own website. You could teach them to build their own CRM. You could teach them how to do all this, and then create a community around, you know, realtors helping realtors, that type of ideas. Because for me, communities are still hot. They're still working.
Yeah.
And if you like, there's a really large real estate marketing firm, and I can't think of the name of it right now, but they have like 3 tiers of membership in there to teach how to market yourself as a realtor. And there's these, you know, that top tier, the inner circle, they're paying a shit ton of money to be a part of it. But it's a whole idea around building your real estate business as an independent real estate. You may be part of a brokerage, but I don't know that they talk much in there about personal branding and alike. It could be a really great spot for you.
Yeah, I would say most membership organizations in specific industries, like I've really gotten into HR, and there's 2 different HR groups that I'm speaking at now. And when I speak, I only talk about networking and how to grow your brand and your business with that stuff. But then they always end up asking me what I do. And I'll pull away 20 to 30 appointments from that engagement. So when you can find a real estate group and they're always looking for people to come in and educate them on a topic that is interesting, different, and unique, which you check all those boxes. So go find these real estate groups and find out when the next opening is to come in and be the guest speaker and lay the whole thing out.
Yeah, I think the other thing you can think about, Julie, is when we talk about growing from being the one person doing it to maybe having multiple people doing the work so that we can take on more clients. One of the things to think about is what's the easiest thing to teach somebody else to do, right? So if you have a system where this is how we set up the CRM for a realtor, if you can write out that system, you can probably find somebody who can do that so that you delegate that part of the business out. And then you're focusing on building the relationships, on networking, on those things. I think it's about figuring out what can you give away to somebody else to do but so that you can do the pieces of the business that truly need to be you or are a part of what you're doing right now. Doesn't mean you can't change later and change what you're doing, but it allows you that ability to grow, right? So I think right now you might be at that point where to grow, you need a course or a program or a community so that you can teach them in large chunks and you don't have to teach every individual by themselves. But my guess is that a lot of people are going to be like, I don't want to do it myself. I want you to do it for me. In which case, if you're doing it for them, you're going to run out of time. So then you're going to have to find people that you can outsource to say, okay, like they're going to pay me to do it for them. And then I'm going to pay you to do that little work.
Well, and that also can be a tier, right? Like,
Yes.
Julie, how many people do you know that are using multiple CRMs and are struggling to find clientele? If you create the vehicle that brings all the people to the playground, you'll have people lining up to try and do work for you, right? So you create the first tier of people of teach. The second tier of that membership is we'll do it for you. And by the time you get to there, now you'll have people like, how are you getting all these realtors coming to the playground? And as you get that community built, more and more people are going to come knocking on your door going, hey, how can I support you? How can I be around you? Right. And build from there. So check out Lifestyles Unlimited. They are a real estate investment group, new investors, purchases. Yeah. There you go, family. Dude, those are people with money too.
Yep.
So, building a community, not always the most easiest thing in the world to do, but you find 5, 10, 15 realtors, you give them a lower dollar amount to start building the community, or some of them even free to bring them in on like Circle or Slack or some platform. Like there's a group called Fractionals United. It has over 10,000 fractionals in it. It's free. And I think that's the biggest mistake in the world they did is they did a free community, because my understanding, and I don't know her and I'm not speaking bad about her, but I've heard that she's struggling to monetize that financially now because she built it out so large, so free. So I'm all about free, but if they're, not paying to be a part of the community, then you're going to struggle creating a business out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's easier to upsell. So go find 2, 3, 4, 5 people, give a couple of people and go, hey, I just need you to come in this community so I can teach, so you can learn. And then as you kind of get the format of what the community looks like, wherever you're going to put it, then you can start offering it to other people. That way, when you're on stage, you're like, hey, I'll teach you, and literally teach them why they need a personal brand, personal website, why they need to CRM, all that kind of stuff. And saying, hey, I teach this in our private community, right? Which will get more and more people to start leaning into it.
You could also start a community with something else completely in mind to get people in there, and that's to share referrals around the country. Right? Start a real estate group where people are sharing referrals outside of the geography that they cover, outside the states that they live in, right? And create that environment, and then use those education moments once you've got the people in there, and hook them on the CRM once you've built the community. So I think that's probably, I don't know if some of those exist already today, but I know that's one of the biggest things realtors are always looking for, is that next referral to come in when someone's moving from out of state or whatever it might be.
Yeah. Right. Because I had also kind of thought the idea of, like, in Michigan, I don't know how it is in other states, but in Michigan, you can become a school and an instructor to get your courses CE Marketplace certified is what it's called. So then people can earn credits towards their, relicensure by having, taking one of your courses, and it can be an online course. So kind of even thrown around that idea.
Yeah.
And maybe it make it very low barrier to attend, and maybe even free, but then, make it be something that, gets me out there. And then maybe those are the people then that I can bring into the community.
The problem is trying to find someone to build that course for you. We just don't know anybody that's worth a shit.
Yeah. I don't know anybody.
And I love this whole idea for you, Julie, because you can literally take what you do to start building that Rolodex of all the realtors and your newsletters and your things to start really going down this path of, in my head, it keeps coming back to it's you're teaching them to build a personal brand, and these are the tools inside of that, right? But this gives you an entire platform to then go down to show them. But one of the things you got to remember is to teach being a personal brand, you have to become a personal brand, right? So that's the one struggle that a lot of people don't realize is you're going to have to put yourself out there a lot more. And that's the stages, that's the podcast, that's everything we're teaching at the Badass Business Summit, right? So it's that idea that, you're going to have to pick a platform and dominate the hell out of it. So
Julie, you got a lot to do. Obviously, you've got a lot of ideas and a lot of stuff here. But my question is, thinking about your to-do list, right? The things you got to find these groups, create these groups, find the content, create the content, do all this stuff. What do you think your next big problem is going to be?
Boy,
I know. Go ahead and say it. Great question. Thank you.
Probably getting out of my own way is my problem, honestly.
Yeah.
So tell me more.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's in your way right now?
Overthinking, just feeling like I have to have everything in place before I do something. And I know that's not the case. I know that just need to be a few steps ahead. And So
let's help her out, because that's real. Everybody gets there, right?
Everybody.
So what do you guys think she should do first? Like, what's the first thing she should tackle here?
Let it rip. Stop thinking. So I believe in tackling small things first instead of big things, because that's where I get overwhelmed. So that's my own personal hang up, right? So I would say something you can do is today you can do a post based on something we talked about today. And that's a step. Just doing one post is a step. I think we feel like I have to have a month's worth of social media planned out before I start. I don't think that's true. Yes, consistency matters, and it would be great if you could be consistent with your social media. But even just doing one and getting yourself started is better than doing nothing. So I would say that's a small step you can take immediately, is just putting something out there today on social media in a video format that says the top 5 reasons you need your own CRM for realtors. I think if you just did one little thing like that, it would at least make you feel like you were making progress, but it shouldn't take you hours to do. That should be something you can quickly do, move forward, and then you can move on to the next thing. So that would be my suggestion. I like to start small when I'm feeling overwhelmed.
I think the first thing I would do is write everything down. Right. Write it all down, make a vision board of what you have to get done at some point, and then prioritize those, put them in the order, put the stuff that you can do, the stuff that you want to do, and the stuff you need to outsource. Right. It's something you can't do, you don't have time for, you don't have the bandwidth, right? And prioritize those things and figure out, like Stevie just said, start with the small things first, the stuff that you can knock out, you can get through and get done. And then the stuff that might take a little bit longer, a little bit more thought process, right? Work on that. It's the one thing I tell people, right? There's so many people out here that are willing to help. All you gotta do is ask, right? Find those projects where you can get some help from somebody and collaborate on that stuff, and then put that content out. And then the stuff that's just too difficult, that's going to take weeks to put together or find and everything else, just work on it in small chunks.
Yeah, I think that's really, really, really smart. So some of the things that you need to put on that list, so if you want to try and write down or come back and watch this as well. So let's think about, okay, what social platform do you want to really dominate on? Let's pick one, right? Because if you try and tackle them all, you're going to struggle bus. Okay. Right. Let's think about, how often do you want to send out a newsletter? Like once a week, twice a month? What is that rhythm you want to get into? How many times do you want to post a day? How many times do you want to reach out to associations, right? How often do you want to, just send a email sequence to people, right? It's just all these things, start one by one listing them out. What other things does she need to put on this list, guys?
Her first and last name.
Now,
No, I would also, Julie, I would also take a look at like.
Wait,
what
Bernie's
parts
talking. Go ahead.
I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
I'm glad I'm sitting down. Holy shit.
What parts of your business do you truly enjoy and love doing, Julie?
The crazy thing is I do love implementing people's dreams and helping them to make their systems work and get that. I do love the implementation, but like I said, there's only one me, so I guess, and y'all been around me enough. I love talking to people too. So,
well, then the secondary follow-up question to that is of the things that you enjoy, what's really going to move your business forward the fastest? What's going to have the biggest impact? And the reason I'm kind of asking this question, I'm reading 10X is easier than 2X. And that's one of the things that they talk about in the book is really dialing in on the things that are going to move your business forward, that you really enjoy, peeling the rest of the stuff off and only focusing on that piece and then delegating out whatever else it is that needs to get done.
Well, and I think that's a really good point, right? Because
right.
I mean, she said she likes talking to people, right? So networking is probably going to move her business forward faster, right? Getting out and speaking, getting out and meeting the people is probably going to move your business faster than, sitting in your office and implementing that program for that client. Not that you can't do that or shouldn't do that for them on that timeline, but is that really where you should be spending the majority of your time? Right? Like there's an element, like I use in my business as an example all the time. I do actually enjoy making PowerPoint slides. I don't use them a lot, but I enjoy making them. The process of making them is super fun for me. But at the same time, does making a PowerPoint slide do anything for my business? Right. No, it's something I need at the end of the day when I show up, but it is totally something somebody else should be doing because nobody can be me on stage. That has to be me. Right. So I think making that list of what do you actually enjoy in your business? And then what of those things that you enjoy move your business forward, like Bernie said, and then focusing on those. Because that's sometimes we get tripped up in doing some things that we do enjoy, but they're actually not revenue generating.
I was just going to say, I think you answered Bernie's first question incorrectly, right? What's the biggest thing you enjoy doing with your clients? And the answer should be cash and checks. Right? That should be the answer from every
all
business
the single
owner.
moms,
Cashing,
all the single
is cashing their checks. Now, to Stevie's point, look at all the activities you're doing. Does that help you cash a check? And if it doesn't, probably shouldn't be a priority.
Yeah.
And that's really smart, Keith. So Julie, which I'm said that because it blows me away. That's actually smart.
He's speechless because Keith said something smart.
I like Petrie's thought here, though, where she's talking about, figure out specifically what you want people to say about you, right? What is it that makes your personal brand unique? What do you want to talk about? And one of the most healthy exercise I ever did was actually from Laura DeFranco, where I sat down and wrote down, all the cool things and bad things that happened in my life, and then wrote down what were my takeaways from those things. And that really started helping me wrap my head around, what are the things I actually want to talk about? What are the things that I'm actually passionate about, to get all the information out of my damn head so I could, do things. The other thing I would tell you is to get into a rhythm. It's the one thing that keeps my ADHD ass, sane, is there's a very, very, very specific rhythm to every day. Like, I'm going to go get up, go to the gym. I'm going to come back. I'm going to write my LinkedIn post. I'm going to comment on posts, right? Get that routine in place so you're not trying to do all the things. Like I moved all my appointments. I don't do any appointments before 9:00 now. No, unless I'm going to a chapter or something, because it gives me the morning to get all the stuff done that I know, because as soon as this day starts, day's over, right?
Mhm.
You know, you're going to be in meetings and everything else. So find the little hacks inside of that. Like if I do a virtual coffee with somebody and I need to do an introduction, I'm doing the introduction right there. Right.
Mhm.
I'm not going to go, you know, say I'm going to do it at the end of the day, but that works for me. I know Keith waits to the end of the day to do his, right? But
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's when I start my day.
No wonder he looks like a blueberry with us. It takes him that much time.
Yeah, except Mondays. I get up.
And I kind of like Mike Mallon's idea too. It'd be interesting if you were to document this overall process
Oh yeah, I think it'd be great.
of building this and what it looks like, and just take people along for the ride on this. Not even just walking a real estate agent through doing this, but you actually going through this and building this all out, because it gets people a chance to genuinely meet you. So, and now you're talking out loud about, you know, where you're overthinking, where you're struggling, and those type of issues, and that makes you more human, which is going to get a shit ton more people leaning into you.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
I do want to circle back to something that we said earlier, but I think it's a really important message for everyone. Is really hard to sell somebody else on having a personal brand if you don't have one.
Yep.
I think sometimes, and this is not directed at you, Julie, I think this happens to a lot of people, right? It's kind of like if you're going to somebody to build your website, but they have a really crappy website, why are you using them? You know what I mean? Like there's an element of
like SEO companies that aren't SEO'd.
Aren't SEO friendly. They don't come up in the Google. But if you don't come up in the Google, why am I letting you make me come up in the Google? That doesn't make sense, right? So I do think in this instance, if you're going to go down that route of asking, like really helping your clients, not just with the CRM, but overall with the personal branding, making sure you look at your own, to like what Petrie said and those kinds of things, and just making sure that you know what your personal brand is, making sure your website meets the requirements you would tell a client to have. Your CRM should do the things you would tell a client that their CRM should do. Like you should have all of it built for you and be an example to really make that work for your clients. And that's true for every business owner. That's true for everyone. Whatever you're selling, make sure you're doing it for yourself. Because if you're not, then it's not right helping you. Like that's one thing. And I don't like to compliment him because his head is bigger than the world. But
He's talking
that's
about
one
Keith.
thing I think Donnie does really well is he teaches people how to build a personal brand through networking, but he literally does it and we see him do it. It's live and out there for the rest of us to see, so that I know when he teaches somebody something, it's something he's done. It's not just something he created and he's like, well, I think this works, but I've never used it before. Everything he teaches is something you can see that he's done on his LinkedIn or in his community. And I think that makes it just more believable, and that builds a lot of trust.
Mhm.
And I think that's something that you're going to want to do in your business as well.
I agree. And Petrie, you should be out front teaching that very loud, that process. How does somebody actually go through their own session to build their personal brand? You need to be doing that loud out there, Petrie. So, and I know how much, Petrie, you love being on camera in front of people and like, you know, out front in the face of everything. So that'll be really good for you.
She won't even show up to my Monday morning training session. Like 8 weeks now, she's been putting it off.
Well,
Thanks, Petrie.
Nobody ever really wants to sit down with you, Keith. So I get it.
Oh, wait, what?
Well, the other thing is it's Monday morning after this, so they've seen how you've been on this show, and they're like, nope, I'm out.
So
that's probably the most valid point I've heard all day, Julie.
So, Julie, we hit you with a lot of stuff today. You know, walk us through some of the takeaways. What's the next action step you're going to take from here?
I do really need to probably look at my personal brand and honestly, Stevie, I am that person who is the cobbler's kid who has no shoes. I can set up all these systems for other people. I have some. I don't have all that I should. I
have a crazy idea for you, Julie. Now, get with Petrie.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. See if you guys can work out some sort of deal where maybe you help her with the CRM, she helps you with the personal brand.
Yeah.
Right. And
That's
then
a
you got
great
you
idea.
guys are working together on that. Petrie says she'll be there, Keith. Well,
I'm not gonna do that. I was just kidding. I don't want you there.
all right. Sorry, Julie. I could cut you off, but I thought that was
No,
cool.
don't believe me. I've been watching her comments, and I'm like, I'm going to reach out to her on LinkedIn after this.
Yeah, you should.
was already on my thought process. Also, getting a domain in my name. I do not have that.
Mm,
Oh, yeah.
it's huge.
It is.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, I'm just gonna kind of stick with a couple things, because if I could have a whole laundry list, and then I'm like, shit, which thing do I do? But to make that list and figure out, like, what is it that I do? What do I delegate? And what just it doesn't need to be done. You know,
You should have a laundry list. You should have 25, 30 things on that list, right?
Yeah.
The most important thing is to go back and prioritize that list,
Yeah.
right?
right? And then start looking at the check marks. And what's funny is today, you might have 2 check marks, but in 3 weeks, you probably have 13 check marks. It's amazing how things get done over time. So just do the little things, 1 or 2 things a day. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Time's a bitch.
Yeah.
And then you
It
die.
is.
Right.
I wasn't going that far, Steve.
Sorry, it just felt like there was something to go on the end.
And on that depressing ass note, let's talk about events.
Well,
Well, who wants to plan your
don't
own
die
funeral?
before the badass business. And Julie will be here, won't you, Julie?
Yes, I will. I'm
There
excited.
you go.
My second
Julie's
year.
flying in. And so much of what we talked about today, this is the kind of stuff we're going to be showing you how to do. We're going to not tell you the why. You've already got that figured out. We're going to be telling you how to do it, how to get on stages, how to get on podcasts, how to build that personal brand through content, through LinkedIn, through speaking. So everybody needs to be there. And special bonus point, I will buy you a drink. I'm putting this out there. I personally will buy you a drink if you can show me you own your name in a domain.
Oh, look at there. I love that.
Because that's the first step to any of this. It's going to be the first thing I say on stage. So if you do it before you get there, you send it to me, drink on me.
Love that. So
I'm using Keith's credit card, but it's totally on me.
So knowing that, Stevie will be buying everybody a water because that's about what Keith can afford. So
I didn't say what kind of drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you don't want ice with that water.
So, but tickets go up on the Badass Business Summit September 4th, I believe. So get those tickets quickly. Bernie, I know you got an event coming up as well.
Yeah, doing one tomorrow, which is primarily focused towards executives, HR, and learning and development, talking about the value of leveraging fractional learning and development resources in organizations. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, that's all right, Michelle. We'll get you next year at the summit.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
We'll get you next year. Steve, you got any events coming up?
I don't actually. Our next play isn't until October. So, and I got no business events this month because grad school semester started today. So I'm working on that.
Nice.
Also, a little bit disappointed Donnie and I didn't make the cast. This
Really, I thought this was our shot. I thought we were going to be
what I should have said on the cast announcement and special cameos, and that can be y'all in every show. I'll just put with special star cameos.
I don't want this special cameos because that could be anybody.
Yeah, no. It's going to be Keith's breakout role as a tree.
I hope I get upgraded to a rock. So that way I don't have to hold my arms up the entire time.
No, because your arms will get tired. That's so true.
Sure. That's awesome. Well, guys, we're here every Monday, 8 a.m. Central, hanging out, good times, laughing, trying to get canceled, and just having a good damn time. So come
so
join.
good to see you, Julie.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
So come start your week off with us. Otherwise, love you, made it. See you. Bye.